ladies and gentlemen, welcome to it.
Good morning to the folks. What up to the youngins and bless up to the world.
And then Tay just put your info on blast like that.
It's what the people want to know, bro. My bad.
Nah, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to it. It is the Morning Shake with me, your host, Xavier Hendricks, and of course, my co-host, Mr. J. Paris. What's happening, my brother?
What's good, broski? What's good, bro? We're nice,
dope,
bro.
dope,
Good
dope.
morning. Good morning to the folks. What up to the youngins? And major blessings to the world. It's your boy, J. Paris. We're coming to you live from a beautiful Johannesburg, South Africa. It's the Morning Shake powered by The Inside Show, and it's one of the best podcasts in the country. What's good, bro?
Dope. Bro, today we're having an interesting conversation. I want to jump
Definitely.
straight
I want to get some
into
sets
it.
first and foremost, bro.
Nah, bro, go for it.
Can I get those ones there, bro? Of
Grab
yours?
these ones.
I know you don't.
Nah, I might. I know when Clayton is producing, bro. I want to hear.
You want to hear
the
that?
sound sound effects and all that. Which
Nah,
ones do you want to grab?
facts.
Grab
Nah,
those
let
ones
me
there.
get-
Yeah. So today we're having an interesting conversation because the interesting, for some scary, for some apocalyptic world of artificial intelligence, right? And so it used to be something we saw in the sci-fi movies. It used to be, and maybe perhaps you could ask yourself, are sci-fi movies a precursor of what real life is going to happen, what's really going to happen in reality, right? We find different angles of this approach. We find things that the Bible speaks about, hence apocalyptic, that Bible speaks about that in the last days, these, things are going to start happening. So for some, it's scary. For some, it has biblical connotation to it. For others, it's interesting. For others, it's exciting. For others, it's an opportunity to make more money. For others, there's a bunch of conspiracy around it as to why are they forcing those things upon us? Why, are these things going to get to a place where it's smarter than we are? Are we going to end up having an iRobot moment where it's a matter of, the movie iRobot with Will Smith and how he, the one robot starts getting emotions and the one robot starts feeling some type of way, and then the robot ends up having a situation where it's a matter of actually getting to the point where the robot has its own things that it wants to do, and it wants to kind of operate in its own way. And these are all the questions people are asking, and people are saying, will it get to that point where we have to defend ourselves against robots? I know Tate speaks about this one element where he says that what happens if there's a policeman robots and they are told to kill anyone who disobeys the COVID laws. By now, most of the people would have been killed, because if you see without a mask, you get shot. Or if they decide that they're gonna program the robots to do that, there's no negotiating, because it's not the person you can negotiate with. It's not.
But I guess there's a lot of pros and cons to that, though, bro. Because now you really on high alert with whatever you do. Can't be skipping red robots. Can't be doing anything that one shouldn't be doing.
But the problem is, human beings are not perfect.
In fact,
so you
can't really get it to the T.
Yeah, you're never gonna get it to the T, and so you can't have it to the point where it's so rigid that there's no room for error, and that's the issue with artificial intelligence. But be that as it may, bro, I recently got into the space of we were busy speaking about doing some stuff together, and we were busy speaking about actually doing some production elements and all of that. And so I reached out to the homie that we had onto the show on not so long ago, Sia, and I said to him, hey bro, listen, how do I do this? How do I implement these things? And then he started saying, hey bro, there's some AI apps that you can use that will make your life a lot easier. And then I was like, all right, let me look into this, because I naturally, I'm kind of like not resistant, but I question things when they happen. I'm like, no, let me first check what this is about before I get involved. Yeah. So I decided, let me do it. Let me download ChatGPT. Let me see what it's all about. Downloaded ChatGPT, started messing around with it, and then I started playing with it, right? And it started coming together for me. It started I was like, all right, okay, this is kind of like Google. But a more precise version of Google, and a more kind of structured version and a more direct version. It answers the question you're asking, right? And then it has another thing that is also part of it where it can continue the conversation. Where it's not a matter of, like, you know, at Google, if you like say how to change a car tire, and then it says number 1, first change this, number 2, change that, number 3, do this. And then if you want to know, okay, how do I change a car tire that has 5 nuts on it? Then you have to literally go back and say how to change a car tire with 5 nuts. But on ChatGPT, you can just say, what happens if it has 5 nuts? So literally it goes on to the same conversation and the AI will still be engaged on the actual conversation that you're having, right? And so that was interesting to me. However, there is now a challenge in the United States of America, especially in Los Angeles, California. There is a big community of people who work in what we call Hollywood, that are movie producers, movie directors, script writers more especially, that are feeling some type of way about ChatGPT especially, right? And the reason they're feeling some type of way about it is simply because you can literally just type in a prompt and you can now literally get a whole entire script, you know. So you don't have to have 5 writers in a room. So now what that means is you're now going to get to a place where you can replace a room of writers just by typing in a prompt and then get a script. So I want to toss that out there and then maybe get some thoughts. And of course also we have our co-host that doesn't really have a show anymore because
that's what I told him that this morning. I'm like, yo, broski, you haven't had airtime in a hot. Let me actually intro him, bro.
Go for it.
I was like, yo, bro, you haven't had airtime in a hot minute, bro. So I think pull through, but I don't. Let's juice him up. But ladies and gentlemen, we have the professor of AI. We brought in the Godfather, son of AI, and he's here.
Give us a scoop.
Yeah, he's here with his laptop and everything. He really did thorough research and everything regarding this. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's put our hands together as we welcome Professor Jesse Hendricks the Third.
Thank you so much.
Where's our round of applause?
Nah, it's there, bro. Professor?
Thank you so much for having me here today. I just want to say...
Don't have glasses.
Unibrow, bro.
Fixing your unibrow.
I was at a barber, he cut it.
Oh, he cut it.
It's no more.
Cleaned off the unibrow.
Just give me a week, it will be back.
But what's happening, bro? The world of AI, for some people, they're scared of it. Some people, obviously, there's conspiracy theories. Some people say, yo, it's end times.
Yeah.
And we kind of have, I kind of have the middle approach where there's things that it can be useful for, but then also there's other things where it's like, yeah, wacht, this is a bit too close for comfort now. What's your thoughts, bro?
Look, like you went to the Hollywood type of
yes,
thing.
I was just going to actually say, let's jump on
yeah,
that.
so with the Hollywood thing, I think the main thing there also is the fact that AI can now basically replace an actor as well. As long as you done, let's say you done the first, let's use Ride Along as an example. You done the first Ride Along. Second Ride Along comes out, you decide you want to do third Ride Along. You basically signed a piece of paper to give your rights and all that stuff. Basically, you gave yourself to the
from the first
and the second one.
I know Ice Cube actually mentioned it in one of his interviews.
On the PS1. And literally what happens now is, because you sign that paper, they can still use
your
character. Jay Paris isn't on set. Jay Paris isn't there. But there's someone else that's doing your roles. But the AI shows Jay Paris was there. Jay Paris is doing this and that. So literally they can make you do whatever. They can make you say whatever without you even being there. So I think for them, that's where it becomes a bit...
But for now, quick, because that is actually, I think that's our third point that we want to jump on. But I want to actually get deeper into that point. But before we get to that point, I think let's take it from the approach of what do you feel about as far as the actual script writing is concerned? Because you've worked with ChatGPT, you know how it is to put in a prompt, and then literally you can literally say, give me a script for a movie that is 1.5 hours long, that has 5 characters in. The one character does this, the other character's name is John, Peter, James, Paul, and then say enter.
Father's Day, I had to do the thing here on stage, a young speech thing. I went onto ChatGPT. Father's Day speech, put things about my father, characteristics and stuff, and literally wrote a whole speech. But I left the speech at home. That's all I just had. So when I got here, I got you. I just had to speak from the top
From
of my
the top of the dome. But for me personally, bro, I think we're living in a world that's obviously continues to revolve, bro, and evolve rather. It's one of those where you use this tool and instrument to either benefit you, or again, you're gonna be one of those that's gonna sit back and complain. And the people that sit back and complain are the ones that always lose out. So, but also with the whole script writing thing, it is a crazy thing, bro, that where it can eliminate about 5 or 6 people. However, I do believe there are elements that still needs that human touch, that human feel. Now, you were mentioning the whole speech thing. There's certain things that I don't think AI at this moment in time will know about Jesse and how you actually speak to your father. Sometimes you're like, yo, you the father that I know. You like the father that I never had. All those funny elements, broski, when you're actually on stage. I don't know, maybe soon it will get to that. But just concluding that point, bro, of the script writing.
But bro, I wanna say this, right? Okay, go for it, Jesse, because I'm looking for something.
Now,
more
for
on
me,
it.
I think, like Jay mentioned, if you can use it to your benefit as well, and there's a lot of people that's against it. I feel like they're not wrong in terms of being against it, because I think there is a bigger picture to it where it is eliminating jobs at this point in time already. If you listen to Bloomberg and all that, already jobs have decreased in certain sectors because AI has replaced those
positions.
job roles basically. So it is a big thing, and also when you look at AI, it's this AI chat GPT and stuff that we see it's there, but it's like a brain. Literally, they code this thing and then it literally runs on its own. It learns on its own. It does everything on its own. There's actually a test where I also spoke to Clates about it. They done a test where they had robo arms.
We were speaking about that
Yeah,
just now.
and literally one arm was doing it right. So they had color balls with color baskets.
Bro.
And this robot arm had to pick up the color ball and put it in that color basket. One robot arm was doing it the whole time. After a week, bruh, all the arms were doing the exact same thing without anyone coding or doing anything with those arms. So literally, AI is the type of thing where it learns
At a rapid pace.
at a
bro.
rapid pace. That's why.
At the quicker pace than a
Yeah.
human can think.
That's why, like with ChatGPT, people's always asking, do you think if I ask it the same question, will it give me the same answer like you? And there was a case like that. Also, I think it was in the US where a few kids handed in the same essay because they all use ChatGPT. So they all
The whole
basically.
plagiarism
Yeah,
thing,
the
bro.
whole
Do you think it
plagiarism
can get to
thing.
that?
It happened. It was there. I think it was 3 kids that just literally they put in ChatGPT and they copy paste everything and just handed it in as an essay. So 3 kids had the exact same essay. But I think it is moving at a rapid pace where it's gonna get to a point where it's not like that. It's gonna start
bro.
changing.
Remember,
because
we
it's-
spoke. I thought that I thought from the onset, and I'm sure they will get to that, bro, based on what you're saying now, where it'll identify the ID of your Gmail account or
like
your email
because
account.
when you log in, you have to
You
use
have to
your,
use it. So I thought from the onset it was like that, bro. But now that you're saying, yo, now the early stages of it, people were having,
We're
the,
having the same answer.
essay.
But listen to this, right? I asked, so back in the day, I used to run a vlog channel, right? And it was a family vlog channel. So I asked ChatGPT just for the sake of just as a test to see what it's gonna say, right? And listen, I said, what is the Hendrix Family channel on YouTube all about, right? The Hendrix Family. So listen to the answer they gave me, right? So this is people who don't know who I am, what I am, nothing, right? The Hendrix Family channel is a YouTube vlog style channel, right? I didn't say vlog or nothing, right? Vlog style channel that showcases the daily lives and adventures of the Hendrix family. Listen to this, né? With a focus on family-friendly content, the channel offers a glimpse into their experiences, including travel vlogs, which is truth, challenges, DIY projects, cooking, and family activities, which is all the truth, right? They aim to inspire and entertain their viewers while fostering a sense of community and positivity, which is the truth. From heartfelt moments to light-hearted fun, the Hendrix Family channel captures the essence of family life and aims to create content that resonates with viewers of all ages. Bro, that thing literally
Bombs on.
that thing literally explained what the channel was about better than I could have explained it, bro. It literally articulated it in a better way than I could have articulated it. It had all the elements. It had everything that really does happen on the channel. But how the heck does it know, bro?
That's just the thing. I don't know. The thing is, do you think if I ask about another channel, and let's see what it says?
The insights,
Which channel?
The insights.
Nah, the Inside Show is a new channel. This thing told me the
that
last
thing.
time.
Oh yeah.
It only goes up to
Yeah.
2019.
Oh, so does it
something.
literally go like back into and check the
Yeah.
YouTube channel itself or what? Or how does
I
it
don't
work?
know, bruh.
Because how does it know then that's like it's a new channel?
What
If it doesn't do
is
that.
the Inside Show
Hectic stuff,
on
right?
YouTube all about?
Nah, but AI is crazy.
Let's see what it's
Like
gonna
back
do.
then, you used to watch iRobot and with Will Smith and think, this is nonsense. What is going on here? We'll never get to this. But
But
literally,
now, bro.
bro,
You see,
we
it
at
says
the
my,
point-
my last known update is September 2021. So it can't. The Inside Show YouTube is a newer channel.
Yeah, it can't for now.
And when did Insight start?
Around
September
that,
2021.
yeah, around that time. So it won't have information about it. It will only have information about shows that are older than a certain age.
But that's what I want to like know in the back end. Then does it literally go onto YouTube or what and check the channel to know that?
Probably.
Because how fast must it do that?
It does it in like a second.
Yeah, how fast does it watch all these shows, bro? All your the vids you post for it to know.
Nah, I think the algorithm takes like different points out of the thing, like common words that are used constantly in the videos, common this and that. And that. So if we're always talking about conspiracy theories and we're always talking about, this, that, and the other, then it's gonna say the Morning Shake is a show that speaks about conspiracy theories with 3 hosts, this, that, and the other.
But still, it's
yeah.
scary and crazy to know that this thing can literally
Can do that.
Yeah, it knows that.
It knows your
this
life
show
better than you do,
started
bruh.
Basically, in September, there's not enough data for it and all that stuff. 'Cause
Insane.
how quick does it do that? How does it know that? That's like for me, what like.
Jay, I left my phone at home. I don't know what my second
Yeah,
point.
bro.
I'm trying to jump
Actually,
on it.
no props, bros. I actually want to get to some of the challenges because I don't think that's an opponent as yet.
Before you get there, I
yeah.
want to just tell everyone watching online, thank you so much for jumping in on the action. Please, can you also just comment in the comment section and tell us what your thoughts are on AI? Are you using it? Are you vibing with it? And because later on we're gonna get to Midjourney, we're gonna get to the visual, the things that the deep fakes where they can literally take your face and make it look like you said something and you know
AI voice, all of
were
those
in that
things,
room
bro.
with your voice and everything, bro, to the point where it's getting so good that they don't know the difference between who's who now anymore, if it really was you or not, right?
No,
And there's also
facts,
some
bro.
cases, that it happened where some people got into trouble and it wasn't them. But anyway, bro,
Nah, facts,
so
bro.
in
I
the
got-
comment section, please drop your comments. We want to read it and check what you
Do you
guys
think
are
if
saying.
we ask maybe like about the case, like the Senzo case, it will maybe give us a theory on what you think happened in that room?
Nah, it wasn't there.
When was the Senzo?
That was quite a while
It was
ago,
a while
bro.
ago. But it's actually something to think about.
That's
Okay,
a crazy
sorry,
one, bro.
sorry,
Nah, no
I
props.
broke your
What
words there, bro.
happened?
Nah, Easy's keen on.
Senzo Moya case.
Now we want to use and abuse this thing and see if it's actually
Let's see what it's
as
gonna say.
legit.
Let's see what it's going. It's thinking. They're saying. As my last update was September 2021, the case of Senzo Moyo, a South African professional footballer and former captain of South African national team, remained unsolved. Senzo Moyo was tragically shot and killed on October 26, 2014. during an alleged attempted robbery at the home of his girlfriend in Forsterus, South Africa.
Yeah.
Despite the extensive investigation by the South African
it's just AI
authorities,
protecting itself with the whole alleged. and
alleged,
so forth on.
listen,
I'ma sue AI.
including offering a reward for information leading to the arrest of the suspects. No arrest has been made in the connection with the murder. So they're
That's
just
pretty
giving
good
us,
though.
but they're just giving us like
That's
generic.
what we know, basically.
The
But
lack,
still,
the
for
lack of
22,
progress in
bro.
solving. Listen to this. The lack of progress in solving this case has been a source of frustration for Senzo's family, friends, and fans. Brad, this thing is literally answering. He's probably taking clippings from
different
newspaper
articles
articles
and
and stuff. And it has led the public to demands for justice. Right. It's important to note that the development may have occurred since my last update. So it's saying that's all it knows.
Nah, that's insane, broski. That's insane. But yeah, bro, moving on a little bit. I guess this is the old glitz and glamour of it. Oh wow, we can do that. Oh, let's type in.
What
All of
really
those things,
happened
which is,
to
which is
Tupac?
cool. What happened to Tupac?
What really happened to Tupac?
Apparently, they're close to solving his case.
Tupac was riding in a car with a death row. With the Death Row Records founder, Marion Suge Knight. When another vehicle pulled up alongside them, Bryce is gonna tell us the same thing that all the documentaries tell us.
Nah, legit, bro.
Bro, what are you gonna say? But I'm just,
I lost
I'm
my
just,
train of thought now.
I'm just saying that,
Nah,
bro.
I got it.
That's the power of this thing, right? Literally.
Yeah, now for me, obviously, broski, these are all the glitz and glam for now, bro, and this is obviously leading into our next point. These are the beauty. Wow, you can type in this. It's amazing. But I want to get into some of the challenges that might happen in future regarding these things. Let's get to the crux of people's 9-to-5 hustle, and obviously we'll solve some of the probs as to how we can, like we mentioned from the onset, how we can use it to our advantage. But basically, just the crux. What are some of your thoughts on that particular job or that particular 9-to-5? Once AI starts evolving it at a rapid pace and even more.
Which point are we
than
on,
what
bro?
it
I
is
open
now.
my thing on I open my thing on my.
Oh, you got
on
your
my
WhatsApp
laptop.
on. Zakes left his phone at home. Like, leave your phone at home with the torch on.
With the torch
In
on.
the
It was
bathroom.
load shedding this
Load
morning, bro. So I was like, couldn't see where I was going,
Oh,
and I left it
it's still
somewhere.
winter vibes, bro. It's still dark at.
It's dark in the morning. Yeah, bro. What point are we on there? 2. Or you
It's
just- or you
basically
just-
1 and 2 still, bro.
Okay.
Will it take people's jobs and can it get to a place where it replaces human creativity? So it's basically those points. But I want to get to the crux because a lot of the interviews that I'm watching, they just speak about the danger of it. Yo, it's gonna be dangerous in the next. They speak about 2029 being the year where, yo, this is gonna cause havoc and chaos. But what's the? It's less
basically
lessening.
yeah.
Broski, because of the fact that
Okay, what are your thoughts?
moving
What are your thoughts? Why do you think it's dangerous? Do you think it's dangerous? Let's even start there. Or did you not give it enough thought?
I wanna pinpoint stuff. For me personally, obviously being in the music and videography space with the whole voice thing, bro.
But bro, now you're going to
'cause-
0.5. But okay, go.
Yeah, but these are kind of the with because Nasty C did the same thing where I think he had Lil Baby on one of these tracks that he did. But now, this chair, broski. But now what's like, yo, what just happened, bro? But now there are the whole copyright things, then lawyers, all of those things that's taken into place where you can't just have Champagne Papi Drake on your track. It's like, how did you get him on there? Although you can obviously
Imitate his voice.
imitate his voice, but there's a lot of legal implications and so forth on that's coming to the fore regarding that. So, but being in the production space, when it comes to editing, the plugins that's being created for these apps, like certain apps like Premiere Pro, Final Cut, and so forth on, is becoming crazy dangerous, if I may say, because with offline editing, I see now there's a plugin on Premiere Pro where you can insert all your footage that you shot, and it literally cuts the best moments of that, or interview of 3 layers shot 1, shot 2, and shot 3. Shot 2 is on me, shot 3 is on Jess, shot 1 is obviously on you. As I'm speaking now, that plugin knows, no, Jay was speaking there, cut that part there from Jay. So that's offline editing. It's an actual job that people go through, sift through footage, and basically cut all of those things. So in that regard, already, someone's job is taken away. The online editing side of things, where you do the whole build, lower thirds and make the vid nice and all of that, I'm not too sure about that as yet. But that's just the videography and the video editing side of space. I'm not too sure, because we spoke about it yesterday in regards to the videography side of space. What will happen then, where you literally have to go out, and we'll speak a little bit more about different jobs as well. It's not just a production side of things. I'm just speaking for me personally, where you have to go out and shoot an actual wedding or an actual corporate event and so forth on. I don't know. Do you think it will get to a point where robots are now doing these things? Although yesterday I saw, when I was doing some research on this, bro, AI is creating certain corporate ads now, where you can, there's basically a plugin where you can generate, I want a scene with this lady looking to this guy and they're drinking this product. And it literally, that scene appears. And you can say, no, I don't want it like this. The background needs to be this. I mean, you can do that with the images already. That old Joe Biden with the Pikachu image, not too long ago, it gave a bad outcome from what they typed in. But now it's exactly Joe Biden with Pikachu in his office. And that's image. So now they are slowly but surely moving into the video side of things. But for me personally, it's one of those, how can I use this to benefit me? Because I know personally as a video editor, because I do offline and online editing, and I know how long and tedious offline editing can be. So if I have that plugin, it literally just saves me time and a lot of funds as well.
You see, now that's the thing, bro. Do you think it will really replace human creativity? Do you think it can replace human creativity? Because here's the thing, right? So I've been using Midjourney because on a project that I'm working on. You literally still have to put in the prompt. You have to say, I want even if you're writing a script, you literally have to technically write half the script for it to know what you're trying to say. Do you understand what I mean? You have to still say, write me a script about 3 men going on a journey and they meet up with 2 women and there's a love interest. It creates a love triangle. So you technically writing after thing for the thing to know what you want it to say.
It's saving you time though, bro.
It saves you a hell of a lot of time. But I'm saying you still have to give that original creative input from the onset. And then the other thing is, bro, do you think it will still have the same emotional connection? And I'm going to tell you why I'm asking this question. That same emotional connection with the audience, which it can, because it will learn how you speak, it will learn emotions, it will learn like how to add like words that trigger emotion, it will learn all those things. But then, bro, at the end of the day, we all just gonna sound like robots now. Because let's say you say Father's Day speech and you go there and just read a speech. We're gonna be able to hear, Jesse doesn't speak like this. He normally would have made a joke here.
My father, hey congregation, my father shows a lot of stoicism in his approach of life. And that's why
to the mathematical approach of the fourth to the third, and on this day it's like, nah, bro, who speaks like that? And we had a situation.
But
right?
Sorry to break you, but like with that, there's a plug-in for ChatGPT itself where you literally put in what you want, and then you use that plug-in to make it more human-like. So it will basically, you can even add in the age there and all that type of stuff to show, okay, this is like a 16-year-old that wrote this. And it will use like the type of words and lingo that 16-year-olds use, things like that.
Yeah, South
So
African
it doesn't sound like so
like
professional.
AI.
But here's my thing, right? I think it still requires effort from your side. I'll tell you why, right? Jay and I recently were involved in a show that we were watching, and we were part of, well, not a part of, but we watched a show at a production. And when we were watching the show, we kind of were confused by the language usage and by the depth of the language usage, and also by the way the show was kind of put together. And it was kind of put together very confusing for us. So we sat there, and when we got into the car after and we were having this conversation, we both literally said the same thing to each other. We were like, bro, that sounded very confusing. It sounded like there were word usages there that was unnatural. It sounded like the storyline was all over the place. It was just very mixed, right? And I couldn't make sense of it, and I couldn't understand it. Then I started using ChatGPT, right? Like last week or 2 weeks ago, I was really, because I'm busy with this project, started using my journey, ChatGPT, adding prompts, doing a bunch of things. Then I realized, oh snap, this thing actually works with, you have to prompt a certain kind of prompt for it to give you a certain kind of answer. Otherwise, it's just going to give you a random, all over the place answer. Then I called Jay and I was like, bro, you know what? I think the producers of their production probably put in a prompt in this thing, and that's what they got given, and they just basically went with it. And I might be wrong. I might be very wrong. But that's the sense that I got from it. I could be wrong, actually. But I'm just saying, that's the sense I got from it. And that, for me, would be the danger of copy and paste. Because even like those kids that handed in that essay, that they just said, write me an essay about the fourth industrial revolution. And then AI just said, the fourth industrial revolution is a combination of revolutions from the first industrial, which included the this and that and that and that. The second industrial revolution included this and this and that. The fourth now means that the technology improves, and then you just hand in that. And what are the chances those kids even read that thing? And that is my danger. It's like, so you just literally said, you came home, I have to write a 1,000-word essay. Write me a 1,000-word essay about the fourth industrial revolution. Enter. Copy, paste, export, put onto a paper, print it, come to school. Hey ma'am, here's my essay. Write your name on the top, sign it on the bottom. Here's my essay. You didn't read it. You don't know what it's about. So essentially, you still don't know what the fourth industrial revolution is about, because you literally just copied and pasted a whole entire script. And so based on that is the same thing I'm saying about the other thing, which is like, you can't just take now and say, give me a script about boom, and then press enter. Then now it gives you a 15-page script about X that you asked for, and now you just go and you perform that script without asking questions, without adding your own flavor, without adding your own spice. And now the viewer, it has an unrealistic and an unnatural tone to it. Because remember, for something to make sense, it has to be culturally, it has to connect culturally, it has to connect emotionally. There's word usages there that we will say aware, sharp, nah, ish. There's those kind of words.
But now that Jesse's saying that there are plugins that can generate jargon of specific communities, townships, and just basically countries. So that's basically answering that.
Because you must know, it's not far-fetched. Look at Siri. Latest Siri, literally, you put in South Africa and all that stuff. And Siri now can use South African jargon. It uses certain stuff that we use. And it learns from that as well. So it's like, it's not far-fetched. It's like, it's around the corner. These things are already happening. It's already there. It's already done. When we first used Siri and you say, ay, and things like that, Siri didn't know what you were saying. But now you can use that type of
and if
stuff.
you first use Siri, you have to say, hey, Siri.
Yeah.
You have to like say it in
now
like
you just say, now you can just basically just say Siri and
then it
she answers. Yeah.
What are some of the challenges though? Basically on my side, I spoke about the production side and how certain jobs can be taken away, but how you can also use it to your advantage. What are some of the examples that you all might say, yo, there's this specific 9-to-5 or job that at this point in time is not needed? Because I know there's also, speaking on the school and so forth, I was asking the question to you last night, yo, broski, so do you think at some stage you need school
my answer to that was, bro, we already know two people, right, that technically doesn't want to go to school, or that didn't go to school. Like the one homie that we all know, he just said, now, why must I go to school? It's a waste of time. Just watch a tutorial, understand how it works, and that's it. Like, and in an hour, I know what the school is teaching me for the whole year. Which, technically, is technically not wrong. You can argue it and you can say, yeah, but what about this? What about that? There's things that school teaches you that you wouldn't know otherwise. There's disciplines, there's this, there's that. But let's use this specific friend of ours as an example. He is a disciplined guy. He executes when he's supposed to do something. He decided school is not for him. He just left it. Everything he knows, he just Googled the tutorial for it. And he literally started his own business, which at the moment he's doing quite well in. So now if you look at someone like that, which is a real life case study of a proper South African person that we know in physical, like we can call him now and put him on loudspeaker, or we can get him on the show next week and say, hey brah, tell us your journey. How do you explain that, brah? He figured out early that school is a waste of time and I'm just gonna go on.
And that was in the space of just Google and
YouTube.
and beginning stages of YouTube. Now with this platform that's coming to the fore, it's like, picture how much more you can do. Where
So now the question does beg. So
you,
I have two questions.
are you saving all that funds on?
My first question is,
university?
is it necessary to still go to school? Valid question.
Look, I think like in terms of South Africa itself, I feel like our education and our schooling system is very outdated. So we still doing very old things that don't really necessarily help us within our everyday living. Like when we had the show with Leanna before she left, we had someone on the show as well. And it's like when you do LO, we don't want to know if Johnny has AIDS. How do we come for Johnny? It's like, okay, how is that going to actually help us out there? But rather show us maybe things on how to save, how tax works, how these things, because that's everyday stuff that when you come into the real world, it's like, but I don't know anything. And that's literally going to that's what I'm about to say. It's basically going to what you're saying, that when you're done with school and you do enter the real world,
you have to relearn things that you don't, you still don't know.
You still basically lost.
But that was the whole argument about school in the first place. That it purposely keeps you as a slave. It purposely gives you the slave mind mentality. It purposely there's even people there's that video that went viral about maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago about a guy that says, look at all these industries, that how it improved, how this, how that, how that, how that, how that, and then he says, but look at the school. It still has the same desks, the same lessons, the same nonsense that kids are being taught. It's the same this, the same that. So he's asking, so now why is that not improving at the same pace as the real world is improving? And then he also pointed out that it's you sit in a row, you get taught and instructed, and that whole kind of thought process was always to say that you have to work for a boss, you have to sit in a factory, you have to do what the boss tells you to do. It always had kept people in that mindset of, okay, you stay a slave, and that was the guy. But now I'm saying you have access to all this technology, bro. Where you can.
I think to a certain extent, school might still be needed, bro. But everything afterwards, bro. But then we'll ask the question, like, is the certificate still important? Like outside of the matric certificate, the degree certificate and so forth. But then again, you have a lot of people with degrees and so forth that's sitting at home, and the people with the experience are getting all these jobs. But I think again for school, bro, the discipline is what's being taught there, because I'm thinking of a lot of things now that I learned at school that I'm using today. Most of the stuff that I'm using today and making a living from today is stuff that I learned outside of school.
You learned at break.
Yeah. Or even at break, bro. At break when you with the gents and you speaking about life and so forth on, bro. But at school, geography, what are you going to need it for?
Unless, look, school is unless you're in that line of work.
That's what I was about to say, because let's look at people that we know. Like after school, they went to university and all that. Now they see A's and stuff like that. School was necessary for them to set that groundwork.
Even for legal things.
That's
necessary.
It's necessary
for,
to set
like,
that
if you want to be a
groundwork
pilot, geography is like you at least know how the countries operate, stuff like that.
So that's what I wanted to also mention.
Yo, bro, there was this one lawyer that was with the whole chat GPT thing I don't know if you checked it out, bro. And he was basically in the court, literally getting okay, and then
serious, bro.
Yeah, bro.
In court.
Yeah, bro.
So here's
But also, sorry to break you,
Nah,
but
nah, nah,
also
go for it,
based
go for
on that, like what Xavier said with the creativity, I feel like, yes, you still need humans to prompt it, but I feel like the gap is going to become smaller and smaller in terms of human creativity, because we're just putting a prompt in, but yet we're still not necessarily being creative with what it's giving us. We're just running with it. So we're just basically saying, small things, we're just putting keywords in there, and then that thing literally writes out everything for us. At the end of the day, still being creative for us. So I
Now-
feel like that gap will get smaller and smaller, where this thing will become much more creative
Facts,
in
bro.
terms of what it does and stuff, and we're just gonna become more lazy.
So here's which is also the thing, and this is what Andrew also keeps saying, is like the aim is to make us lazy so that we can so that they can control us. It's like those ones can't think for themselves.
like Stephen
They're just
Hawking.
gonna do whatever we tell them.
They was asked him that question of what do you think is like the most dangerous thing to mankind, and then he mentioned AI. He says once AI kicks off, it's gonna be extremely dangerous, because at this point in time, you see how fast it's growing, and the worst thing is that AI passing human intelligence, where it can now think for itself, create for itself, do anything that it wants to do.
Which
Which
brings
it is at a percentage there already,
there
bro.
Which brings me exactly to Sophia. Have you heard about Sophia the robot, bro? So Sophia the robot is based in it was a Hong Kong company called the Hanson Robotic Company, right? That made this robot that now
that basically
they
has a own brain now.
Yeah, they put like actual skin texture
Yeah.
on the robot, and then the robot can walk, can blink, can like look around.
But it's still
can-
very
it's still very robotic.
Yeah.
You can see it's robotic. But now the aim is actually, listen to this, right, which bring me to this question. The aim is actually to get this robot to become so human that you almost,
Don't
to
know.
the point where you can't tell if it's
a
a
robot.
human or not. But I don't think it will ever get to the point, because I mean, bro, there's things that humans can do that are, bro, like physical things, like run up a thing and this and that. You're gonna have to get it to the place where we're gonna have to, where the robot's gonna have to understand, which they will get probably, because there are like gradients and like, because those things we do naturally, we can see, okay, here's an uphill, okay, sharp. But for a robot, it's like, okay, okay, it's a gradient, it's an uphill, so it means I must lift my foot certain degrees up to be able to climb, step up, and for us, we just run up the hill.
I
right?
think it can get to that, bro.
To the
'Cause
point
if
where
you
it's,
look-
where it's natural, where it just goes.
I feel like, bro, look at how quick you just put that thing in and it gives answers.
but
So,
give-
how quick will it?
I think give
It's gonna give it time, yeah.
but give an example of it, because I want to know whose jobs are at risk and at stake for these things.
Now, my
what would
question-
it be? Because we speaking about the glam side of all of this. That's cool. But what is it replacing when you speak about running up? Are we
So,
speaking about a builder? Let's speak about builders. Builders have to climb and go over things and then build. How is a robot gonna do that?
So now
because
my-
it's the
my-
person watching on the side, I hear what they're saying, but I'm safe.
But
Nah,
if
but-
you even look at like cars itself, bro, when people build cars, back in the day, it was gents physically putting cars together. Now you just have robots and arms putting cars together like that.
And quicker also. But my issue is not necessarily with the job replacements which it is an issue, but I'm saying from the emotional side. So here's the thing, right? So gents are saying that they're trying to make a beautiful woman looking robot for gents to be able to buy, so that then they don't have to deal with having to, because now they're saying, listen to this, bro. Now they're saying there's a lot of gents that are shy to approach women, and like, you know, nerds and things that feel like, nah, it's my better if I just buy this robot, and then you can you can have, you know, pata whenever you want to. You can if she's making too much noise, you can mute her. If she's giving you stress, you can just. So it's like all the benefits of a woman
For some of the husbands in the room,
without
get
the-
home late. You can just, hey babe, keep quiet. Okay, thank you.
No, all the benefits of a woman without having to deal with the emotions and this. And now they're saying that, okay, she's going to get to the point where she has real emotions, where she can like give you an emotional response.
But is she
where
soft?
Yes, bruh,
Like
she's
they're
soft and
making
everything. And then you can also say, only program her to give you like affirmations and baby, you're so strong, baby, you're so good at what you do, baby, you're the best in the world, baby this, baby that. So No,
Till,
so you
till,
can have
till,
like
till baby starts knowing things, and like Jess is saying now, they're starting to get more. Now a robot is clapping you.
no, but now you have to take your wife in for a service.
And I, yeah, thank you.
Hey, baby, my arm. It need grease. It need grease. You must take your wife back to Hanson Robotics for them to service your arm.
Tell the
cherished
person,
arm.
this one, I don't know what's wrong with her now. She was so right in the first couple of months.
Then she comes
She's
by Hanson
answering
Robotics.
back.
My owner abused me. Yeah, they in trouble for breaking your
My aunt is
girlfriend's
starting
arm.
to come home late at 12. Oh, how do you know?
So that's the thing. Do you think it can really replace human emotion like that, bro? Like from human to human.
First,
Okay, you can go.
yeah,
first.
first and foremost, bro, there's a lot of people that it's a tricky one. There's a lot of people in that space already using certain instruments to pleasure certain desires.
There's it now.
No, I'm just there's a
Then
lot.
with a robot arm. Then it's like to switch his arm off.
There's a lot of people, bro, that's using certain tools and so forth on already, bro. So if they're using tools like that and instruments like that, bro, of course it's gonna get to a point where I'll explain.
I'm thinking about it. It's a real video. Did you see that athlete? Where they switch his arm on and they're like, yo, homie, got the wrong setting on. Like, you can't switch it off. Oh, sorry, bro. What were you
Yeah,
saying?
broski. If there's already been tools and instruments that specific genders have been using all these years, bro, how much more now? When
Now
there's
that
an
you can have
actual, when there's an actual
It
person,
used to be a blow up
actual-
doll. Now it's like a real
a
thing
real
that can-
person, bro, that can communicate with you. So I think it definitely is gonna get to that point where these robots are gonna replace so many significant others, like
What?
Eh?
Can't hear you. I said you must put the mic there, bro.
Yeah,
Because I
bro.
knew you wanted to jump in on this convo.
So for me, bro, to a percentage, yes. Just based on the fact that there are already tools and instruments. That
Will it
people
be
use.
able to replace real human interaction, bro? From a real human being? I say no, bro.
I think now, no. But I feel like later in the future, there's a possibility that it can.
It has to be the fact that you as the human are getting used to the robot.
I think there's
interaction.
different
No, I
dynamics
think-
too.
yeah.
with
Not-
robots.
not
It's
that- not
it's
that the
not a-
robot is
it's not-
becoming better
bro,
at
it's not
being
a- Yeah, it's
emotional.
not 100%.
Is that
bro.
you getting used to?
Not necessarily.
It's not going to
that,
be
bro.
100%, bro, because you have grands and aunts and so forth on that you still need to visit and get their touch and
I
emotion and so
understand
forth on.
that, bro.
But now a robot's not going to replace my grand, or a robot is not going to replace. However, bro, this one homie who lost his son, I was speaking to Piers, bro, and he was speaking about how when he lost his son, he created something that.
That's
that,
the homie about the hand.
yeah,
with the
bro,
basket
the
thing.
same homie. He created something that sort of like brought his son's emotions that to real
Yeah,
life.
he says
that,
he's attached emotionally
Yeah.
to the arm, to the robot arm.
that brings that happiness that his son once brought. Yo, bro.
Nah,
This is crazy.
But that's the thing. I feel like we're thinking like just here now, the way things are now. And
Nah,
it's
open
growing
up, bro.
already
It's cool.
at such a rapid rate. Bruh, let's look at 2050 as an example. Yes, it's far. But I feel like when we get to that point, I feel like already now they're working on this stuff where it's already not, they're trying to not make it so robotic and all that type of things. What more still in 2050 when they actually get these things right to have more human-like, it's already learning from you. Every day when you speak to this thing, it's already learning your lingo, how you speak, what type of reaction you want out of it, stuff like that. So I feel like at the point much further down the line, I feel like we will get to a point where these things are like that, where it's willing to give off the emotion you want, willing to
Nah,
answer
definitely,
back
bro.
certain replies, things like that. Not even still think, but rapid, quick.
But what if you program it to clean the house and it doesn't want to clean the house?
But that's exactly what I'm saying. It's more human-like. Your mother tell you to clean the house. You also now, and then you don't have lust to clean the house.
No,
and
but
you
I
sit and
bought
shop.
this thing because I wanted to clean the house, not for you to tell me no. I don't
I
want to clean the house.
understand that, but that's why I'm saying that's what makes artificial intelligence that dangerous. That it learns
can-
on a
yeah.
daily basis. That it's literally able to. That's why I'm saying the most dangerous thing is when it surpasses human intelligence, when it starts thinking for itself, doing things for itself, and actually becoming a human.
Because now it's still programmed, bro, where you can
Yeah.
do this, do that. But at a point,
And I
like,
feel like that's where Stephen Hawking's came up with that to say, okay, that's why he feels like AI is that dangerous. Because at the rate,
and I don't even think at a later stage. How long has ChatGPT and AI been around? Even for, or in the spotlight now? A
Yeah, it's
good-
only 3-4 years. It's not even.
Yeah, it's
well,
not
it's
that
probably they've
Yeah, it's
been working
it's
on
been-
it, but I
it's
mean,
been-
since it came,
but I'm saying like now it's really popped now in 2023. If we're being honest,
Yeah.
since like maybe the beginnings, Feb or so till now, but in that space, how intelligent this thing has become, you can imagine in the next.
because now, bro, they're
5
literally
years, bro.
imitating a video about somebody, so they can put you somewhere and say you said that when you didn't say that, or you did something that you didn't do, and there's already a case in America where someone was scammed or something because they used the child's voice. And they phoned the mother to say the mother must send money or something. And
Nah,
then the
but
mother sent money, and then it was AI voice
But
of the,
even
of
when
the
you
kid.
speak about scamming, I was watching, I don't know if you've watched Trafficked with Mariana. It's on Discovery and all those type of things. And she literally goes around, she's an investigative journalist. And the one thing is where she goes to Ghana, where one of the big scamming countries are. And literally, I feel like AI is making it so much easier for scammers because now you can literally just prompt something and it can create an actual person for you now. You can change your voice, you can do everything. So now because in Ghana, the biggest scamming is romance scamming, making old people fall in love with you, then they start sending you money and stuff like that. So now you're literally making it that much easier with AI where you're able to change your voice, female, affection, things like that, and still create a person with AI, like Midjourney type of things. Yes, it looks animated and stuff, but there's certain things also that's out there that it can create actual
Looks more
looking
realistic,
more
yeah.
realistic. So this is the type of things that these scammers can. It makes it so much easier for them to send pictures through to gents, to females, to say, okay, this is how I look. You can even use ChatGPT to get emotion now. They don't have to write their own scripts because that's literally what they do. They write scripts for each.
And then the scripts
each
all sound
client.
the same. Now someone says, wow, that scammer guy that phones the scammers to ask him this, like, yeah, my name is Peter Parker. What's that movie about a tiger?
What on
Life of Pi, ne?
Like on the
What's
boat.
the tiger's name? Peter Parker.
No man, Peter Parker,
Peter Parker,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Then the tiger's name is John Parker or something. And then the scammer's like,
Parker.
hey, this is John Peter Parker calling you from. And then you're like, just could as well pick a realistic name. I want Peter Parker.
No, but right, it's
And it
stingy
works, and the
outside.
people get scammed for real, bruh. Now imagine, because one of the big phone scams are in India, right?
Yeah.
Where they sit in big rooms and they scam
But that's more
people.
tech scams.
Yeah, the tech scams.
PayPal and all that stuff.
And so imagine the tech scammers just get a bunch of AI, bruh. Then they can sound like Americans. Hey, good morning. My name is
Yeah. Because now at this point in time, you can literally hear it's a.
yeah, you can hear it's an
You can hear
Indian
it's
guy.
an Indian
And
guy
if you
trying
want
to
up for
change.
it, then you're like, what for Peter Parker? He's so
But now we're getting to a point where your voice can actually change and sound like an American. It makes it much more difficult to identify these scams now.
So that for me is the scary part about this whole artificial intelligence. But look, there are things I think that, like Midjourney, I've been using Midjourney, it's helping me. I'm getting work done with it. But I think still I think you can't replace human creativity, man. Because I think the thing that gives it,
But gents, let's use Midjourney as an example. You say you can't replace human creativity. You just typing in Moses at the water, whatnot. It gives you 4 options already. I didn't have to be creative with putting Moses there, drawing it,
Bro,
stuff like that.
no.
It's literally
Photoshop.
putting it there.
Photoshop has a plugin as well where you can generate all these things, bro. Like cut out this image,
Yeah.
put this person in Paris, and then next to the Eiffel Tower, I want this here, and the text must be here at the bottom. The date is on the 5th of December. This is da 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 da, and boom, there you got your poster.
But where Zakes is saying is you still
No,
need
but
to
I still
be
need
creative.
me. I still need my
But
creative.
I'm saying, like, let's use Midjourney as an example. We're just putting keywords in Moses at Riverside, whatnot. If I wanted to create a post or a visual for that, I had to be creative in terms of that. Okay, I'm gonna put Moses here. I'm gonna make the water like this. I'm gonna
I
make
feel
this
you.
like that. Now I'm literally just putting in Moses or whatever this happening, and it's
that's the art.
creating it. The art is creating it for me. I wasn't creative in creating that art. I just put in the keyword.
But you had to. What people are saying now is that you have to know what kind of prompts to put in to get the best result. Otherwise, you're just gonna get a bland picture. And then compared to what these ones are posting on social media, where the pictures are like dramatic and there's like fire falling from the sky and it looks like very dramatic. Those are different keywords. And so now they're saying the person who understands the keywords to be putting in
But
is the person that's gonna get the
but
best
that's
picture.
the exact thing that I'm saying. It's keywords. It's not necessarily you being creative. You're just putting in certain keywords. You still have the image or whatever it is that you want, but you're not actually making this thing. So your creativity is not really being put to the test then.
But
My,
my thing is,
my only thing with that though, bro, is that because you know I've also seen the whole Midjourney thing and so forth on. It kind of has a like, you know, when people start using what's this other thing that they use for photos now? Not photos, editing, Canva, where people are like, I can see that's a Canva poster. Do you think it's gonna get to that point though? Because when it comes to Midjourney and what it generates,
you can see it's a
you can
Midjourney
see
image.
that's
You can see it's a
Midjourney.
Midjourney image.
So now there isn't what separates
Now there's no originality.
this here person from this one. Like, yo, you need to go to that person to design this.
So again, and that's the point I want to make, because that's also the point I heard from people. The whole reason for going to an art gallery and choosing out art is the emotion behind the artist, the storyline behind who this artist was. Like if you go Van Gogh and you hear his story and how he was poor for his whole life and how he cut his ear off and how he painted something with the blood from his ear and that. So what gives that artwork that depth
yeah.
is the storyline behind who the artist was and the emotion and the this and the that and the that. If I just say Van Gogh painting artwork, ear off, get the image, it's like sharp. It's probably better than his picture, but no emotion, no backstory, no feeling, no nothing. And that's even in the car world is what they also say. They say that that's the difference between when
Facts,
I
bro.
pull up here with a handmade, leather stitched,
Yeah.
whatever from Italy that Ferrari himself, what's his name? Enzo. That Enzo himself touched and he stitched it with his hand and he put that thing together and this. If I come there with that and you come with a Toyota that a robot put in, my car's gonna have more depth and feeling and emotion, and I have a story behind my car, and you just have a Toyota. Your Toyota could be faster. Your Toyota could be fancier. Your Toyota could have the newest technology, big screen. It can, if you speak, it moves, it does this and this. But mine has soul, and that's the question I'm asking. Will it be able to replace that authentic human touch and soul and backstory?
I think, like I said, I feel like with time it will. We already see humankind and mankind become less intact with the emotions, if I can put it that way. We're not as
Worried about it.
worried about it how it was back in the day. Like we see someone get shot, we take our phones out and we record it and stuff like that. It's like it's desensitized. The emotion is being thrown out of it, and that's why I feel like we could get to that point because we're literally allowing it by desensitizing it to that point.
No, the system is allowing it. The system is doing this to us.
Now we can't necessarily blame the system because we're in the system. We have the ability to break it. The people, we still have the end say at the end of it.
Yeah, but the system is conditioning people. Because
Yeah.
think about this, right?
No, I hear that. I know it's conditioning us.
So think about the load shedding situation, right? We already conditioned to know it's gonna go off now 2 o'clock. It's gonna come on 4 o'clock. In the beginning, we squealed. In the beginning, we protested. In the
fight,
beginning,
yeah.
we were like, this is not right. Now we conditioned to it's like it's gonna go off 2 o'clock.
Okay.
It's gonna come on 2 o'clock.
Now,
4
like with
o'clock.
that, exactly what you're saying. Let's use that with AI. We basically using the condition and to say, okay, this is how it is, this is how it's gonna be, and that's how it's gonna end up being. We're gonna be so used to it in
That is
terms
just
of that
natural.
it's just natural. So for us, that's how emotion should be. For us, that's how this should
But
feel.
I still believe in my heart that there's still something
Heart and in my soul.
in an individual human
And I
being.
confess
Yeah.
that the Lord Jesus is
Bruh, listen, man. There's still
savior.
something in a human being that knows, man. There's something
This isn't
not
authentic.
right,
This
yeah, man.
isn't-
This is not legitimate, man. It's even like the food now. They're trying to replicate the food. But now the thing is, we're gonna probably get used to the point where we
But
just
my
eating,
question,
because
but
like
my
McDonald's
question,
is like
but
processed
my
food and we
question,
got
bro,
used to it.
is like, is that emotion silence? Is it needed when you're just trying to hustle a bag? Is it? I couldn't care less about the feeling and all of those things. Yeah, I understand that thing where you speak about the whole coyotes from Enzo this, Enzo that. But yo, bro, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to get in a whip and go from point A to point B. When I'm really intact with
Like,
my
look at-
emotion and
let's
think
even
about,
use,
then
like,
I can say,
Tesla as an example. Their cars is put together so robotically and stuff like that, and with these serious intelligence and things like that. But people are drawn towards that. Why?
Yeah, because of the technology, the fact that
Want
it's
it
modern and all that kind of stuff.
But that's why I'm saying.
but also
more
it's the
better
person behind that
technology.
though, bro.
I don't necessarily think the
It's
person
also
behind it, bro.
what's his name again? It's also Elon.
Elon.
People are drawn more to a personality than what they are to the product.
I hear that, bro. But
To the
if I'm buying a-
personality.
If
Look,
but
there is an
people-
element
there
of
is
truth
an
to that.
element of
People
truth to it.
people come to J Paris Studios because of me. Yes, the videos are dope and everything, but this
They
home
build
you
a
can,
relationship
this
with
home
the
you can-
individual.
That I
Yeah.
agree with 100%, yeah. But for me, still at the end of the day, if I'm buying the vehicle, I'm looking at A, B, C, D. Does it suit my needs? I'm not necessarily always just looking, okay, Elon built this, it must be a good thing.
But the thing is, you have trust in Elon also, bro.
Ish, there
You
is-
still need that.
For me-
you still
for me-
need that trust
for-
element
for-
and factor in the person,
For me
bro.
personally, Jesse, if I had money,
But let's look at this. Yes, there was a few cases where there was a few accidents because the car malfunctioned and all this type of things. It's like, do we necessarily have that trust, or do we just like it because of the name brand now? It's like a big thing. It's the technology behind it.
But bro, it's like Dr. Zake's preaching on a Sunday morning. People pull up, yes, because of the word of God, the product being given. But I would say more so because of the trust that our congregation has in Zakes and in Doc. I can trust this guy to lead me. That's why I'm here on a Sunday.
But it's also based on his product then.
it is. But I'm saying, bro, that's what I want to say just now. If I had money, and Toyota has a self-moving vehicle, and Hyundai has a self-moving vehicle, and Tesla has a self-moving,
Like the
I
Prius now
would-
that has the solar panel.
Yes, with the Prius and solar panel. I would most probably gravitate toward a Tesla because it's Elon, because of the story behind it, because of this. Even if that Toyota is better, even if that Hyundai is technically a better car, it's cheaper, it's a nicer car, because of that emotional attachment now,
I
I'm
think
like,
it's difficult,
"Ish, come on,
bro."
my girl."
No, I
Because at
hear
the end
you,
of the
bro,
day,
and I
come
hear
in, bro,
Zakes.
come in.
Bro,
Because
I'm playing on
because we're
both
looking at-
both
let's look at
sides
the
here.
Chinese
I'm not
vehicles now.
shutting down this
Bro,
and
let's try to
shutting
open
down
them
this.
up.
Let's
bro.
look at the Chinese
Um,
vehicles. Do we know who
all
built
of this
Beijing?
is, so
Who
all
built
of this
Laval?
is still personal preference. Remember, anything you buy from a shop is personal
Yeah.
preference. I like Nike, I like Adidas, I like Puma. That's what it is. But the conversation that we're missing is the human element of it is just the input. They create the product. If the product becomes so better that it learns from itself, are you still going to go to the person or the personality to buy the product? Or is it you going to be gravitating to the product because it's so good, it's learning from itself, and it's just bettering itself? At the end, everyone's jobs could be redundant. JPera Studios could be non-existent because AI is learning and it can do anything. It's not limited to who's making the video. So the company can hire itself to do its own video. So you have to keep that in mind in terms of where are we going, the dangers of AI. But personal preference in terms of cars and, like the hand stitch, other people don't really
Care about
value
it.
those
Yeah.
type of things. So if my value
agree
is
with you there.
I want my car to drive me to some place and I don't want to do anything, then you'll go with
Tesla,
the best.
yeah.
If Tesla is the best now,
Then you're
go
gonna
with the
buy a Tesla.
But if something comes out that's better than that,
then I'll go with the Toyota.
But
It
then
was
there's
based on
there's
preference.
again an element of trust in a brand, and that's that we learn in business management, like brand trust and brand, like when someone gets attached to a particular.
But then I feel like-
I wear Nike
Because I was,
even if
I was,
Adidas
I was,
is better.
yeah, I was
technology,
even
I'm
about to
a Nike
speak
guy.
about though, like, because I'm literally trying to play in both fields here, guys. And then I was thinking, okay, with Nike, I don't necessarily know the owner of Nike or who created
But it's
Nike.
product.
But again, Ronaldo wears Nike. This person wears Nike.
Full
This
Nike.
person wears
His name is
Nike.
Full Nike.
Full, yeah. This person wears Nike. So again, it's like, I'm going to get this thing because the greatest sportsman on the planet wears this.
And that's endorsement. But again, that's why my question is, and I think both angles are correct.
Both
there
angles
are
are
there
correct,
are
bro.
people that are not gonna care, but then there are people that's going to buy it because Ronaldo is wearing it. There's people that's going to do things because Kim Kardashian is
Yeah.
doing it, and that's the
because
that's
for
the
me, then
influence.
it would have been then like if Steve Jobs left with his thing, then Apple was supposed to then basically because now there's a new owner. Steve Jobs is no more there. Tim Cook is
Tim
now
Cook.
there. So if we're running after Steve Jobs and saying, okay, we're just going here because it's Steve Jobs. Now that Steve Jobs is no longer, are we still going to purchase the product or not? We're still purchasing it even though Tim Cook took
But
over.
now we emotionally connected to the actual
But that's,
product.
that's exactly
product,
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Because now even
Because
if
then it's not
Huawei,
based on the person, it's based on product.
even if Huawei has a better phone, I'm still gonna end up buying up than
but
iPhone
that's
15.
because based on product.
Even
But
if that phone
product was-
can do fly and make tea and coffee and wash my car,
but
I'm
product
still
was,
buying an Apple.
but product was based on trust in the beginning. The
And
trust
based
was
on the character.
clickbait that got you there from the
shit.
onset, and then after a while, bro, the product sort of
Not that, no,
it-
bruh. In order for you to have substance behind the person, the product had to be
had to be
with
good.
standard.
Yeah, it had to be a good product.
But the
he
person
built-
is the one that built that and
he
like built the
that
trust
That's what I'm
in the
saying.
product.
And so now that you hooked, now you stick.
So there's still a human element to it, unless we get to a point where robots are like creating cars and so on, and Elon is creating his car, and now you're like, nah, I'm not gonna go with Tesla.
But then again-
robot,
But there still needs to be a
robot
human
Michael,
somewhere, bro.
robot
then
Michael
again, bruh,
design.
Look now. We use AI to test market in terms of that. Where the market is, where people's minds are at to create product based on that. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's dangerous
So now
because
AI can see the future.
AI, that's what basically what I'm saying. AI knows what's selling at this point in time. What's
Based
hot,
on
what's
algorithm,
happening,
based on people's thought
100%.
process, based on what people are clicking on. They're like, okay, people are more likely or
Yeah.
most likely to go this direction.
Yeah. So what stops AI from running and creating its own thing
But
in terms of that?
AI can be wrong also. Because
It can.
trends change,
It can.
things change. So let's say AI takes information, because AI can only work with the information it's got. Because
And
AI is going to
people
take
change
info.
trends.
Exactly. People change trends,
But
people
then
change
again-
feelings,
People change
emotions.
trends, bro.
I agree with
can
you,
you
but
see,
then again,
People
based on
change
that,
style. People change. I think
agree
this
with
will
you,
be.
but based on that, bruh, people is so into digital that they run with whatever they see. What stops AI from creating that trend then? Pushing that algorithm out, allowing people
can,
to see that
but
the
look,
whole time.
what happens-
And then people following that trend
Okay,
because
we-
that's how trends follow. It's
It-
based
you're
on
right.
on
You're right. So
digital.
it's almost like a
full
circle.
like an infinite circle that just keeps. But I want to make this short because we have to go over time. But here's the thing. I'm saying this now. Let's take our friend Kovi, nah?
Yeah.
And AI would have taken all that information, and if you type that in, it would have said to you, wear your mask, do this, do that, do that, do that. Because that's the information it's programmed to give you, right? Now, someone comes, a disruptor comes, a Tate comes, a Ben comes, Ben Shapiro comes, Candace Owens comes, somebody that people are following, and they say, oh, let's take a Tate because he's probably the biggest at the moment. He comes and says, hey, this is nonsense. Everyone who follows me, we're not going to do this. Now AI doesn't anticipate that a disruptor is gonna come and change the game. Now you have 50% of the population saying this is crap, and the other 50% of the population following the AI. Now AI has got a fight on its hands because now it's like, ish, now I can't control the narrative because these people are independent thinkers. And that's the danger of independent thinkers. And I believe that's the reason they're trying to get rid of people like the Takes,
that,
because
yeah.
they're making people think for themselves.
themselves.
Like, hey, wag, I'm not just gonna jump on every wagon. Maybe, what if this is not right? What if they're trying to push a conspiracy on? What if they're trying to do this and this? And that's the danger of independence. That's why he always says, if you're gonna stay in the matrix, you're gonna be controlled by what they tell you to believe. But if you think independently, all of a sudden you become a threat to them. Because people who think independently are not just going to buy everything that the woke culture throws at them. They're not just going to buy everything the LGBT throws at them. They're going to say, fuck man, something is off here. And then they're going to start pushing an independent thought process. But then is AI going to be able to anticipate that people are going to say, nah, I'm not going to worry about it.
But that's just the thing. Like when I'm talking
That was
about
a
AI,
soundbite, bro.
when I'm talking about AI, I'm thinking more
Big facts.
back, like futuristic. There. But I still feel like it can play both sides if it wants to even. That's what I feel. Not now, but
Well, the creators wanted to play both sides.
that's the thing. I
The
feel
creators are not going to want it to
but
play
the
both
thing
sides.
is, we don't know that the creators is there for money. If they can play both sides, they're making more money out
benefit
of it.
both. Facts.
That's all they're there for. They just worry about money.
That's facts.
So if you allow this thing to play both sides, you can obviously benefit
Yeah.
both sides out of it.
Now, likewise for me, and this is my closing remarks, bro. I know time is not on our side. I'm on both sides as well, bro. I'm not shutting down AI, but I'm also not shutting down the human creativity and aspect to everything we've just been explaining now, bro. I think we can work together, and together everyone achieves more.
Closing,
That's
bro.
if you an independent thinker and you know how to use the system to your
To your
advantage.
advantage.
But
That's
if
what
you
I'm saying. That's
but
the
if you
best
sit-
way
if
to
you're sitting
approach it.
back and you're like, oh, this
Just
thing
go
is
with whatever
going
they
here,"
tell you.
then they're gonna shut you out, and soon you'll be at home without a job.
And quick, can I just go into that quick? This is stats based in the US, what they're looking at, right? So AI could replace 300 million full-time jobs. That's worldwide. Full-time jobs. 300 million. 80% of the US workforce will have at least 10% of their tasks affected by AI. And then you have 77% businesses are already using or exploring AI at this point in time. So that just shows you already how fast it's growing. And then 75% of Chinese citizens would replace politicians with AI.
That's a big percentage. That's a big percentage.
Now I wish AI could replace.
Don't say that. That one is... Because that will go based on what Sake says. If it pushes that agenda, you have to run that agenda.
But that's what we're also saying,
Based on
bro.
that.
You see.
But
Everything-
Cupcake is not doing a much better job than what I think.
I can do a better job than no cupcake.
For me now, with AI, for now, I feel like we're still just touching the surface. It's not really the big thing out there. Yes, you speak about film and all that things. That stuff to help you now, yes. It's very good and you can use it to your benefit. You can use it to your advantage. But I feel that the danger with it comes in, the more we use it, the more people get into it, the more it will start replacing. That's when it now starts coming in and starts replacing and starts generating and doing things for itself, stuff like that. Because obviously now more people's using it, it's becoming the norm, and that's just the way it's going to be. Like when we first used the browser, people were scared. Even when you go online shopping, people were scared for online shopping. Now that everyone online shops, it's a norm now. So I feel like the more we use the AI and the more we get used to it, it's going to just become a norm until it gets to a point where someone or it itself develops its own brain and mindset of thinking and doing things on its own. Because there was also a few years ago that case, I don't know if it was in China or Hong Kong or something, where they created an intelligent computer, where they had to shut the computer down because the computer started doing things on its own.
I heard about that also, yeah. But
But my bad, broski. Again, for me, bro, I think there's also certain things like a plumber, bro. How are you gonna create a plumber when there's something wrong with your toilet,
Look.
bro? But unless they they create this thing
Unless
now
they
to
make the
point the
toilet
to
electric.
reset and then does it still.
Nah, look, I agree with you on that. I don't think all jobs will be replaced by AI.
Especially
Because-
physical things that needs to be done with your
Yeah.
hands, bro.
Like here, they were using things like therapists and doctors and stuff. But I feel like that could still be replaced, though. Especially
But imagine,
therapists.
but
because
how are you
people
gonna
are
change a
already-
mechanic, bro? Like your car is broken, and you need to just change a nut or something, or
Yeah.
you bumped something and you need to just fix a screw or something. That you must take to a person
must,
to
yeah.
look and say, "Hey, bro, we need to change this one bolt here because this thing came off."
Nah, I agree with
Can't
you.
take it
on
to a
that. You
robot
can't.
unless they make factories like the way car that when
Cars
you
are
park your
built.
car and then that robot investigates what's wrong with the car and then replaces that thing.
Is this stuff also just because look at Tesla also. When they do repairs and stuff on Tesla, it's more software.
You see, that's the thing. But if you bump the car, it's not
Yeah,
software.
it's not
That is
software. That you
you
need to
bump the car
replace.
physically.
But then again, you never know. Maybe the way they do things now must
make a
replace
car.
the car.
Nah, facts. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Drop your comments in the comment section. Let us know what you think. But see you on the next one. Love you. Goodbye.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to it.
Good morning to the folks. What up to the youngins and bless up to the world.
And then Jay just puts your info on blast like that.
It's what the people want to know, bro. My bad.
Nah, bro.